What's up guys, Austin from Glory Visuals here today, and I'm going to unbox our brand new film production cart. Now we've had this cart that kind of pushed out of the way. This is a cheap service cart from Harbor Freight that we've used for the last few months. It's been great. We kind of did a DIY build to make it suit our needs, but we kind of were running out of room to put things as our gear has grown, as our productions have grown. It just really couldn't keep up. It was just, we were overloading it. We were having issues with having to hang C-stands off of the sides. It would run into things, chip doorways. It was kind of a pain, and so we decided it was time for a real upgrade. And after doing extensive research and really digging into different products, different carts, obviously spending $4,000 on a cart from Innovative or another company like Innovative just really didn't make sense to us. But we found this brand called Proaim, and we decided to go with one of their carts. Now this is the Victor Lite cart. They come in a few different versions. They've got the Victor Lite, the Victor V1.1, and the Victor Pro. And the reason that we chose the Victor Lite was somewhat because of cost. It is several $100s cheaper than a similarly sized Victor 1.1 or Pro. But another reason is it's actually slightly larger than the Victor V1.1 and the Victor Pro, which was kind of surprising to me. For a more expensive cart, you actually get less room to work with. And so this cart is 48 inches by 27 inches, which I did some nerdy 3D modeling in a 3D modeling app on my phone. And I built this cart in the 3D modeling app, and I built all of our cases and how we organize our gear, which we'll be doing a gear organization video here soon where we go through all of our different cases, how we organize our gear. So stay tuned for that. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you like this type of content and you want to see more filmmaking content and production company content, I and my business partner run a video production company based out of Omaha, Nebraska called Glory Visuals. And we specialize in corporate and commercial video production here in the Midwest. We travel, but most of our work is done here in Omaha. And so we're a 4-man crew typically. We're a team of four full-timers, and we have a production van, and really this is kind of the way that we operate. And so if you're in a similar role or you're a one-man band, hopefully you get something out of this video as we share with you kind of how we organize things, how we've learned over the last 5 years of doing this to pack our gear efficiently, to make sure that we're not forgetting things when we get to set, and really to make our lives easier. And that was the main reason for deciding to invest in a professional cart that we can hang all of our stuff off of for 90% of our projects. The more efficient you can be on set, just it makes life easier. It makes life better. And so let's go ahead and pop this box open. Darren, can I borrow your knife? Let's go. First off, I just want to say this thing is very, very heavy. I can't really even lift this box by myself. I had to have somebody help me. So it's quite a bit heavier than this guy. This is made of like really thin steel, and so it's like just a really tiny little layer. So it's pretty lightweight, but with that comes some loss of stability. It would rock back and forth on the van as we're driving around, and it just felt kind of like it was going to tip over at any given moment. So I'm excited to see how rigid and how strong a real production cart is. There it is. Oh wow, that thing is heavy. A big reason a lot of people like these types of production carts is they collapse down. I don't really have a ton of use for a collapsible cart. Like I said, we've got a transit high roof van, and so really the main use case for this will be just rolling it into the van, rolling it out of the van. We'll leave it built up 90% of the time. But it is nice if you want, you know, if you're driving a Jeep or something like what Darren drives, and we either don't have the ability to take the van or we're using a van on multiple different shoots, to be able to collapse this up into something that's, you know, this thick is pretty nice. You could definitely fit it in a car. With how heavy this thing is, I wouldn't personally want to be building it up and tearing it down all the time. So I'm glad we can just leave it up. But maybe that's a reason why the Pro carts are a little bit smaller. I'm not really sure, but I went for this for its size. So, gosh. Dang, those are sick. Those are some big old wheels. Same size as the wheels that we have, but they definitely feel much nicer. So this is just kind of a quick release that you just slide. You slide these wheels in here, and then you just lock them down with this kind of like a tripod head plate. Wheels are on. Let's go ahead and put this top shelf on here, which I'm guessing is what these guys are for. Thankfully, if you're setting this up often, this doesn't require this full setup. It's much quicker after the first time. Another thing I really like about this cart is that it has locking wheels. That's one thing with the $150 Harbor Freight cart you don't get. So the ability to roll this up into the van, lock it down, strap it down, but not have to worry. We literally would have to like throw sandbags in to keep this one from rolling around in the van. Also while on set, while building it out, things like that, having wheel locks are super nice. So we're gonna go ahead and lock these down. One upgrade I do have planned for this is instead of just using these normal screws, they make an adapter that goes from a screw to a baby pin. So what I'm gonna do is put the baby pin and then a baby pin extender. So that way we can mount our director's monitor when we use it to the cart without having to clamp anything to the outside, making it wider, harder to fit through doorways. I love that everything can kind of be contained to this top shelf area, which I think is really nice. Also, I love the height of this cart. It's definitely like 3 inches higher, so you have more clearance on the bottom shelf to fit taller bags, taller cases, and so really enjoying the size of this so far. But they just have these little screws that you screw into the top here that secures your posts into the top shelf. All right guys, that's the cart. Definitely took me longer than a few minutes to build out, but I think in future, if you were collapsing this and taking it apart, putting it back together often, it would go a lot quicker for you. Again, this is just the first of a few videos that we're gonna be going over specifically how to organize your gear, how to be more efficient on set. This is just the first part of it. So stay tuned for a video with all the accessories and how we put C-stands on it, how we're gonna put our gear on it so that we can carry everything in and out of locations in one easy trip. If you're interested in a cart, by the way, this cart at the time of purchase was just under $1,200, which is less than a third of the price of an innovative cart of a similar size. It's huge, it can fit a ton of stuff on it, and so I would definitely recommend. On initial impressions, the quality seems really great, especially understanding the budget that you're working with when you buy a Proaim version of this cart. It's pretty much, more or less a knockoff of the innovative version, but again, at a fraction of the cost. So for this price, definitely feels solid, feels like I can fit a ton of stuff on here, feels way more solid than Old Faithful back here, even though, she's done good and she's gonna be a great backup cart for us when we need to fit more stuff than this can handle. But this will definitely be our primary cart moving forward. It feels really great, and so I'm super excited to put this to use on set. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.